It feels like Pro D2 has been going for absolutely ages, but we are in week 11. So only just over a third of the season gone, so much more to play for, and not least at the Stade de la Rabine, where it was Vannes against Agen. Starting our roundup of round 11, and I was only saying the other day on a recent live game here on FR UK that Dave Cherry had yet to score for his new club, and the Scottish international, well, he didn't look like he was going to either. It looked like Agen had done a very good job at stopping this maul, but they got the rumble on in the end, and Dave Cherry broke his duck. And evidently tries for the Scot are like buses. 10 games without a sausage, and then 2 come along at once. The backs were getting involved in that last maul, but they decided to do something a little bit more orthodox of their own. Scrum half Michael Ruru got in on the act, support line, and then serious strength and wheels. 6 tries before this game. He is having a huge season. Number 7 was on the half hour. And moments later, Agen hit back. Fullback Matthias Jean appearing late on the shoulder to go in and pull the scoreboard back. But Vannes just had too much power up front, and the full 5 points were wrapped up with a try. And it was again, he looks like a back row, to be honest. He's their scrum half Michael Ruru, and he is on fire. Ominous form from Vannes, a 36-15 win. Valence against Nevers. And this game was 0-0 until 36 minutes in this one. Valence's fly half Lucas Mire broke the deadlock with a penalty, and then penalty advantage that they weren't able to take advantage of. Mire's boot has been incredibly reliable, and he nailed a monster on the stroke of half-time. It was similarly tight in the second half. Both teams had both been free scoring in previous games and their general style, but they cancelled each other out in this one. Nevers' fly half Borges opening their account on 54 minutes. And it took until the 65th minute for a try. With penalty advantage, it was Timbalani Boli. Replacement off the bench for Valence, who was able to just get under the covering defenders. And the end of the game summed it up, really. Attacks were not on top in this match. Nevers, who have been scoring easily, just not clicking today, and it finished 13-3. To be honest, a forgettable match. Angouleme against Aurillac. And there were tries in this one, and the first of them in the opening minute. Penalty advantage for Aurillac from an attempted counter-ruck from Angouleme. And Yabaki took it quickly and fed scrum half Boris Hadnagoro. Angouleme finally got some territory of their own, and Paul Berge, well, he fluffed this attempted nudge through, but it worked out in the end with the pass sent wide. Wanged to Germain Burgot, the flanker with the try, and it was another example of a player with 0 tries up to this point this season getting a quick fire brace. Burgot getting over for his second just before half time, and that put Angouleme in front. With time running out, the man who created the first try for Aurillac finished the decisive moment. Simeli Yakabi in amongst the pack. Angouleme fought to try and wrestle the lead back one final time with the clock in the red. Assistant referee and the referee ended the game, and a fine win on the road for Aurillac. Provence They've been rising up the table, and Carcassonne, meanwhile, have been going the other way. But the visitors got off to a flyer. 10 men initially piling into this maul, and then it became 12, 13 before hooker Baptiste Moreno broke off the back and opened the deadlock. It was the opposite end of the field. It was the same result. Fewer men had to be committed to the maul on this one before Thomas Sauveterre could level things up. So the Mauls were on top, and Provence set up the decoy that they were going to go for another one, but it just engineered space for Albert Tuasui to get up ahead of steam and bust over his first of 2 tries on the day, and he's already becoming a fan favourite. And Provence put the result to bed, again through their maul power, at least initially, and then with penalty advantage up his sleeve. It was one of Provence's other Fijian new signings, Caleb Muntz, who ghosted in. That pretty much wrapped up the full 5 points for Provence, and even more points difference was added to their tally, with Jules Soulon strolling over in the left-hand corner. Good day at the office for Provence, 48-16. Grenoble against Biarritz was 9th versus 11th, not where either team expected to be. From a line-out that went one way and then switched back the other, linking with flanker Thibaut Martel, who showed speed and power, pinballing over from outside the 22. And was that the fluency of Grenoble's attacking game returning? Well, there was a slick moment in response from Biarritz. A kick pass from the centre of the field to the left. Controlled football style by Baptiste Farraco. Calmly made the overlap count. And it was another kick that set Grenoble's next try in motion. That and some defensive pressure on Biarritz in their own 22. This one definitely needed the TMO's intervention. No, I'm not sure how that ended up being the case, but there you go. Try for Julien Farnou. I tried to go with his fresh trim. Forward power from Grenoble was at the heart of try number 5 for the home team. Replacement number 8, Richard Hardwick, finishing a serious scrummaging effort. Pride restored in the Biarritz pack as they hit back and set up a grandstand finish. Grenoble fans must have been nervous. They've seen this before already this season. However, they were able to relax and enjoy the last couple of minutes after winger Hugo Triou snuck in at the corner, and after a check, his try was given. 33-25 the final score. Oyonnax seemed to have recovered from a dreadful start to the season, and, well, against Bezier, the visitors, they had a bright start as well. Cassiem getting the ball to the wide channels, and then somehow Gavin Stark getting on the end of this kick for his 4th try in 5 games. So Oyonnax were having success out wide. Bezier, well, they went narrower and more direct, and Tongan number 8 Pauter with his 2nd try of the season. Now, if you're squeamish, look away now. We will come back to that tackle. Penalty advantage in their back pocket. And it was Bezier who eventually looked like they'd fumbled the opportunity. but it was prop John Henry Fincham on the shoulder. Couple of offloads, and in he goes for the try. And then with that taken care of, the referee then had a word about this. Narasia, the tackling Oyonnax player, high, late and dangerous, enough for him to receive a full red card. With an extra man, Bezier took full advantage. Baptiste Abascat showing a bit of footwork to step inside two defenders and score. Oyonnax were in trouble. Their bench made an impact though. Rota Salia getting under the defence to muscle in. And then Kareem Kadiri under pressure and in trouble. A try you wouldn't expect from a winger. Wrestled the try to the deck. And Oyonnax to the win. Dax against Mont-de-Marsan is a spicy matchup. The crowds were packed for this derby match, and the home crowd had something to cheer off the back of forward dominance and then the ball getting wide to Maxime Altman. And it was a similar formula for try number 2. A delicate lift to Bastien Daguerre doubled the advantage. Dax were 3 wins from 4 coming into this, and they were playing with confidence. Jope Nasira out on the right wing. Got onto the kick pass and then had the strength to shrug off the defenders for another try. Dax was shredding Mont-de-Marsan, and the 50 came off the back of, a lucky rebound, but an outrageous offload. And Daguerre with try number 2 for him and 8 for Dax. And there was still time for a couple more. A crushing 68-14 derby win. And finally, our live game in round 11 here on FR UK was Brive against Colomiers. There's been coaching changes behind the scenes at Brive. A lot of pressure, icy conditions, but a familiar story for fans of Brive who watched Lucas da Silva score 15 tries last year. And he went over again. And yeah, familiar story last year and in this game at the Stade Amédée Domenech, as da Silva went over for try number 2. The fog was getting thicker through this game. Colomiers in moments threatened a comeback, but Erwan Dridi's try put the result beyond doubt on 63 minutes. A slightly tighter game from Brive. Some form returning perhaps, we will wait and see. And there is week 11's results in Pro D2. Van looking the team to beat just now. Valence and Provence jumping ahead of Colomiers, and Brive move into the top half and trying to get back towards the playoffs. In the bottom half of the table, Grenoble are heading in the right direction. We get to see them live this week. Defeats for the 2 Jaune et Noir clubs leaves Mont-de-Marsan and Carcassonne adrift at the foot. A tough winter for those 2 teams in store, you feel. Our live match this week, Colomiers against Grenoble. Really important one for both teams. And there we go. That's how the first weekend in December looks in Pro D2. We'll see you Thursday night. Subscribe to the channel, check out all the other content, and we'll see you soon.